We are live. Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Viking Arms. We started a little bit early because I understand we're expecting a sellout crowd tonight. So well done if you've made it in, first of all. Coming up to the bar and place your orders before the crowd rushes through. Do let me know who's with us. So please put a comment in the live feed here so we know who's with us tonight. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, has Phil Mitchell taken over the Viking Arms tonight? No, it's not. It's just me. It's not a talking Kiwi either. This is really just, I had to do it. It's my coronavirus haircut. I had to do it because, quite frankly, Mrs. Settle had a bit of a botched attempt at trimming my hair, so I'm afraid it all had to come off. But there we go. It's me. I'm here. I'm ready to go. So we've got with us tonight the Hunts are first to the bar, same as last week. I think almost about to diagnose you with a problem. He's so quick in. We've got the Youngs with us, the Coltuses. Nice to have you on board again. The Fishers are here. Good to see you all. Some soft drinks for the Fishers only, please. What have we got here? The Harper family. Good to see you guys. Really great to see your 2K as well during the week. Harrison, well done for that. Governor Blomfield, well done, welcome. Good to have you back. The Gardner family, ready to improve on our score from last week. The Ashes, you're here, good. The McCarthys, the Greens, so Mrs. Green and family. The Crichtons are back. God, got some loyal customers returning. We must have done something good last week. The Coleses, the Zachariases are in the house. Good to have you on board, Juliet, Simon, Toby, everybody there in the Coles family. This is going to be a really bad habit, but I can't stop doing that. It feels like a kiwi fruit. It's really weird. The Houghtons, good to see you as well. It's really nice to sort of see all these names popping up because obviously we've not seen each other for weeks. So it's good to have you on board, and I hope that you feel that by doing this tonight, it really is the community, the Shiplake family coming back together. We've got the Kyles are here. Malins. I should be on duty in Burr. Where did you go, Mr. Malins? Where did you go? The Rapplemores, good to have you back in. We've got the Newman Chimes from Taplow, not Mongolia, last week. Team Reese are in the house. And the Passmores. Thank you, Mrs. Blomfield. Good. Okay, you're all really rocking in. We're up to 50 viewers, 50 families tuned in so far. So we will begin very shortly once people start finishing logging in. The Howarths are back. So actually, you're going to have a bit of it's definitely a family rivalry going on there, isn't there? You've got the Howarths versus the Mallinses. The Mallinses now at Crossfield School, the Howarths at Rentham College. So let's call it Crossfield versus Rentham between you two. We'll find out your scores at the end. The Morleys are with us. Good to see you guys. The Breretons, the Hobsons back from last week, and Dr. Drosario is particularly excited tonight because there's a round that we had to introduce because he was quite miffed that his speciality didn't come up last week. So hopefully he gets 100% on film. The Hutts are here, the Kennys are here, everyone's piling in through the doors. We're definitely going to be 10 deep at the bar, but come in, make yourselves feel welcome, get yourselves comfortable, and hopefully we're going to have a good hour of entertainment. Okay, so we're going to make a start with a bit of an introduction. Going to start by actually just making some special shout outs this evening to the members of the Shiplake Stars Netball Club. So all the girls who do the Sunday morning netball, all the ladies who do walking netball on Tuesday afternoons, and the girls from the primary school as well. You're all really welcome, and a special message from Tam and Juliet. They're missing you absolutely loads. Thank you for being with us tonight. Also, big shout out to Daphne Sandy, who we know you can't comment. It's my mother-in-law. You can't comment, but we know you're there. And it's good to have you with us as well. And of course, to all of the old Vikings who are joining us from all around the world, the current Vikings, And of course, I think we've got quite a few new Vikings as well. So guys who are boys and girls who are going to be joining us in September, hopefully. So you're all very, very welcome, and I hope you have a great time with us this evening. So thanks for joining. And if you were with us last week, thank you for joining us again. Your sport for choice for virtual quizzes and online games at the moment. So the fact that you've given us this hour of your week, it's a real privilege. So thanks for coming back to us. And really, we were, both Tam and myself, we were really touched by the feedback that we got last week. And so thank you for that. And if this is making you happy, then we're happy to carry on doing this. So thank you for all your feedback. I can introduce her now. In fact, the landlady of the Viking Arms, despite the fact that she's done considerably more TV work than I've ever done, she doesn't want to be on camera. So I think you might see a hand. This is Mrs. Settle, Tam to the netballers, and she'll be joining me here at the bar again, helping with all your comments and with the questions. I'm going to do something ever so slightly different tonight as well. Two things, actually. The first thing is this. I was having a good talk with a friend of mine this week, who a lot of you will know and remember, the Reverend Stephen Cousins. And you'll also be aware that in these really challenging times, charity is a big deal, and there's a lot of people in need out there. And through what he set up a few years ago, we started as a college supporting the Reading Drop-In Centre, which is a hub in Reading, which supports all the many homeless people. And if you've been there, and a lot of people have been there to help cook breakfasts for them and to help them out on a Sunday morning, that you know what great work that they do. So I'm going to do something ever so slightly different and say, as much as we can have a nice time together, let's try and think of some others in these really challenging times as well. So we're going to be posting in the comments a link to a Just Giving page for the Reading Drop-In Centre. You'll see it coming up every now and then. Just anything you can give what you can. They're really struggling at the moment. A lot of their volunteers are kind of vulnerable people as well, and they have to isolate because of this lockdown. So let's just show them that we still care as a community. So if you see this link coming up, you don't have to go in there whilst we're doing the quiz, but it'll be there if you want to donate later. And let's just show them that we're still thinking of them in this really trying time. We'll try and give you an update on how much we've raised after the quiz, because I haven't quite worked out how to use Just Given to get the current totals, and we want you to enjoy the quiz, obviously. So we'll give you an update via Twitter or next week at the next quiz. So doing that slightly differently. The other thing that we're doing slightly differently is I realised last week that there's a lot of families playing. So we have got at least one round which is geared towards the kids. It doesn't matter if you're we've called it Young at Heart, so it's for the kids, it's for your teenagers, it's for you if you're just that age in your own minds. So we've got a special round for those guys, and for that round, can I just remind you, this is a family quiz. So if when I ask the question, Mum and Dad, don't launch in. Let your children have a go first. I'm probably talking to Jessica and Chris, particularly at the moment. I hear there's been a bit of a few ructions in the Benand household this week. Let your kids go first. It's a family game, okay? It's very relaxed, and this is how it's going to work. So these are the rules. Hope you're all listening. Just like last week, there are going to be 4 rounds, and there'll be 11 questions in each round. The 11th question is a chance for you to have a chat, make a list of something that I'm asking you for, and you can also then sort of let me know how you're getting on. So it's 20 marks per round, 80 marks out in total, and do not post the answers in the comments box. Whatever you write is up to you. It's totally up to you. I can't read it. For quite a lot of you, I probably wouldn't be able to read your handwriting anyway. So I don't know what you're writing. Just don't cheat. I mean, if you want to cheat, again, it's up to you. If that's how you're going to have some fun, then feel free to Google the answers. But most of you got it right last week. So no sharing answers, no conferring with other teams outside of your own household. Okay, and please don't post in the comments box. I'll read each question twice. No jokers, so no doubling of points. Enjoy yourselves. Keep letting us know how you're doing via the comments box, and please keep the comments clean. It is a family show, so please be careful with what you post. We'll get your results at the end of the quiz, and if you want to share with us your quiz name, then let us know who you are and who you're representing tonight. So, in fact, already a few comments coming through. The Agatha Quiz teas. Maybe they can see all your Agatha Christie books in the background here, Tam. Okay, we're going to crack on. So, round one, general knowledge. Here we go. So, question number one in round one. What was the name of the land where Gulliver met the little people? What was the name of the land where Gulliver met the little people? Good to see the Quizzy Rascals. Good name. Number two, Soyuz was the name of a Russian spacecraft, but what does the name mean? Soyuz was the name of a Russian spacecraft, but what does the name mean? Question three. What is the name? I'll read that again. What is the largest land carnivore native to Britain? What is the largest land carnivore native to Britain? Question number four. Who is the current Speaker of the House of Commons? Who is the current Speaker of the House of Commons? Question number five. The Spanish riding school is in which country? The Spanish riding school is in which country? We did try and make this quiz a little bit easier because last week a lot of you scored around the 50% mark. So hopefully you're finding this a little bit more straightforward, but we'll see. Question number six. Who is older, Sir Keir Starmer or Boris Johnson? Who is older, Sir Keir Starmer or Boris Johnson? Question seven. Who is the fourth in line to the British throne? Who is the fourth in line to the British throne? It's nice to see in the comments box. Everyone's just having a little reunion in the. Everyone's saying hello to the Howarths and the Mallingers. Welcome back. The Ashes are saying this is harder. We'll just wait till he gets to the kids round. Question 8. In Trivial Pursuit, what category is represented by the colour pink? In Trivial Pursuit, what category is represented by the colour pink? Question 9. Which TV character was in West Philadelphia born and raised? Which TV character was in West Philadelphia born and raised? And question 10, where did Captain Cook first set foot in Australia? Where did Captain Cook first set foot in Australia? Okay, now question 11. Hopefully this is an easy general knowledge one, but we'll soon find out. For question 11, all I want you to do is write down the names of 10. So I don't care if you write 11. There's only 10 marks up for grabs. 10 underground lines from London, London Underground lines. Name any 10 of the London Underground lines. And whilst you're having a think about that and jotting those down, special shout out to Evie Young, who celebrates her 12th birthday today. Really happy birthday to you. Hope you've had a great day in all the sunshine, making the most of it. We want to know a little bit more about who's with us tonight. So tell us a little bit more whilst you're getting these ideas down for the London Underground lines. Who's with you? Are you quizzing with your family? Are you quizzing alone? Tell us more about where you are. What have you been up to this week? Have you donated to the drop-in centre yet? What's been going on this week? How have you been coping with lockdown over the last 7 days since we last saw you? Mr. Olhausen, hoping you got at least 1 out of 10. Come on. All of this just comes out of the newspapers. We read the newspaper every morning. The Kellets are here with us. They're in Ireland. Here is a family looking forward to moving to Henley. So hopefully we'll be seeing you in the new school year. Max Bunting, good to have you on board again. Lone Ranger when it comes to things like this. The Bonans, they've got your mum and dad with you this week, and Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, who had the special shout out last week as well. Welcome back. The Humphreys are here. Richard Wang from China is working with the Humphreys as well. This is what a saint Mrs. Humphreys is. With all the lockdown and with people struggling to go back home when we all got shut down, Mrs. Humphreys has been looking after one of our boarders from Burr for the last few weeks. I think she's got four boys in the house at the moment, so she's really got her work cut out there. Joe Rayner, you're flying solo, but I'm sure you'll be fine, Joe. You're a clever boy. Another one from Martha Dean. Hello, the Kellets. I am from Roscommon. Is that in Ireland as well? We've got the Biziors here. They're looking forward to joining Year 9 in September. We're looking forward to having you as well. Okay. And the Browns are finally here. Mr. Brown hates this. If he's in the pub after the crowd, he's going to be in a real bad mood. Okay, let's get on with round 2. So this round is young at heart. So it's for the kids or just those of you who are young at heart, okay? But if you're playing as a family, the kids get to go first, okay? So kids get first dibs on these questions. So, question number 1. Who wrote Gangster Granny? Who wrote Gangster Granny? And here, parents' pens frantically scribbling that one down because I'm imagining that you all know that one. Question number 2. What is the name of Dennis the Menace's dog? What is the name of Dennis the Menace's dog? We've had a few requests this evening to see the new mascot in the Viking Arms pub. one of the crazy things we did this week was we actually we took on a kitten. It's very sweet and he's very, very tiny, but I can't show you because the dog is here. And if I show you the dog, we've called him Wilson. You'll be able to guess where the name comes from. But if we show you the dog, so if we show you the kitten, the dog still thinks it's called lunch. So we're having a few issues in the pub at the moment. So Wilson is definitely in hiding at the moment. Where do I go to? Question 3. In which book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur become friends? In which book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur become friends? Dr. Drosario, seriously, it would be a mess. Wilson would be Wilson's. So we tried it earlier. It's not going to work. Question 4. The author, Michael Bond, created which famous bear? The author, Michael Bond, created which famous bear? I've even got the Rev is telling me to get the cat. Later. We might have some success later, but I can't. This is a big dog. I can't shift the dog. Question number 5. Reading resident Justin Fletcher is better known as who? Reading resident Justin Fletcher is better known as who? This was a question from Mrs. Settle, who, when she told me the answer, I've got no idea.
I can't believe you don't know who he is.
Okay. Number 6. What is the name of George Pig's dinosaur? What is the name of George Pig's dinosaur? Can they see the dog? Look, play the quiz. What? The pets can wait till later. Play the quiz. Don't worry about seeing the cat or the dog. Question 7. Which Disney film does the song Circle of Life come from? Which Disney film does the song Circle of Life come from? And if there's any kids out there who don't know the answers to these questions about the books or the films that we're mentioning, go and read them and go and watch them. Okay, you should know this stuff. Question number 8. This was our favourite from Christmas, wasn't it? Absolutely, we love this. Whose address is 10 Acre Field, Scatterbrook Farm, Scatterbrook? Whose address is 10 Acre Field, Scatterbrook Farm, Scatterbrook? Jess and Chris, you're doing better than the children. Well done. You must be so proud. Josh Lewis, don't know any of these answers, to be honest. Well, maybe I've just gone a bit too young. I don't know. Number 9. What is the name of the character in Toy Story described as a rough and tumble cowgirl doll with a passion for yodeling? What is the name of the character in Toy Story described as a rough and tumble cowgirl doll with a passion for yodeling? So we've got Mrs. Passmore, the registrar. She's trying to get in on the act of giving the shout outs herself. She's saying hello to all the new Vikings who'll be joining us. So hello and welcome to the Murray family and to the Lockwoods. And number 10, if there are any Shiplake boys probably watching, you should know this one. How many players are in a game of Fortnite Battle Royale? How many players are there in a game of Fortnite Battle Royale? And finally, question 11. Now, I'm going to ask you question 11. Don't be embarrassed. If you know the answers, shout them out, list them down. You know, no one can see what you're writing. You're keeping it in the family, so it's over to you. Okay, don't be ashamed if you know all these answers. We all know that Disney makes films which have great soundtracks. I want you to name 10 Disney films that have won an Oscar for the best original song. So, can you name 10 Disney films which you think have got songs which are so good that they must have won an Oscar? Okay, a really top award for a, a, a song in a movie. Okay, so what are the 10 Disney films that have won an Oscar for the best original song? I only want 10, there's only 10 marks available for it. And whilst you're thinking of that, so you know, I can't hide it. This was a bit of a crazy thing. This is my Corona cut. It had to happen with all the barbers being shut. It's I was about to say it's growing on me. I think I don't know. It might not grow back. Who knows? We've also, as I've mentioned, we've introduced a new member to the pub team this week, Wilson. What's the most ridiculous thing that you guys have done this week and during the lockdown? What have you found yourself doing which you just thought you would never find yourself doing? So, what is the most ridiculous thing you found yourself doing during lockdown? Animated films. Animated films. Who's this from? Who's that question? There's a question there. Is it from animated or all Disney films? Actually, no. They're all films. All Disney films. My bad. Just looked at the answers. Yeah, from all Disney films, there's only a certain number that have ever won a best original song Oscar. So we've got some mullets and eyebrow slits going on in the house. We've got Richard's had his head shaved. The Coulters family have taken up darts. Good, you know, cross curricular there. A bit of maths with a bit of genuine good sport as well. Love the darts. Stand up if you love it. This is Passmore, still giving you shout outs there. Austin says, doing a pub quiz online on a Friday night. I never thought I'd be doing this either, quite frankly. Harrison Harper has become the sourdough risk whisperer, so I'm assuming that you've had some good successes with the sourdough. Send us some pictures, be good to see it. We do a fair bit of baking in this house. Never quite got as far as sourdough, have we?
I haven't got the patience.
No. More mullets going on. Please make sure, look, you know, fine, mullets, shaved heads, whatever you've got to do for the next couple of weeks whilst we're on lockdown. But remember, when you come back to school, short back and sides, keep it sensible. Okay, so looking at that, it does look like haircuts seem to be the thing. We're going to move on to round 3. So, Mr. Brown. Oh, hello, what's that? Vanessa Fisher. Dyeing your son's hair pink and blue. Well, fair enough. Why not? Why not? You know, if it keeps you happy during this lockdown period, I hope he's happy with it. You didn't just attack Zach in the night and make his hair pink and blue. Okay. So, question round 3. This is especially for you, Mr. Brown. We love you loads, and you moaned quite a bit at the end of last week to say there wasn't a history round.
Was it moaning? I can't imagine Mr. Brown moaning.
Let's call it polite request. So this is history. Okay, so for all you history buffs out there, probably not your period. Well, which one is Mr. Brown? Question 1. Which public school did Winston Churchill go to? Which public school did Winston Churchill go to? Definitely moaning. That's Joe Southwell. Good to have you back, Joe. Good to see you. Bespoke conditioning. Ian Brown, sorry. Too many fitness companies in Henley. Question 2. Who was known as the lady with the lamp? Who was known as the lady with the lamp? Don't start cheating, Dr. Rosario. And again, if you've got kids playing with you, let them call it out first. Some of these they should be able to get, I hope. Question 3. Which vegetable did Sir Walter Raleigh bring to England? Which vegetable did Sir Walter Raleigh bring to England? Do you get an extra point if you can name Winston Churchill's prep school as well? No, absolutely not. Can't start bending the rules now. We've got this is a very well established quiz. Question number 4. Whose ship was the first to sail around the world? Whose ship was the first to sail around the world? Mr. and Mrs. Milburn, good to have you on board as well. Hope you're enjoying the quiz. Mr. and Mrs. Milburn, a lot of you won't realise this, but they are expert quizzers. So certainly expecting high scores from you guys. Make sure you let us know what your team name is, Mr. and Mrs. Milburn, so we can see what you've got at the end. Question number 5. Rudolf Hess was the last prisoner in which jail? Rudolf Hess was the last prisoner in which jail? I had absolutely no idea on that. Is it where they invented the ballet?
You can't be giving clues.
Oh God, lockdown, cabin fever. Question number 6. In which city was the 1916 Easter Rising? In which city was the 1916 Easter Rising? Dr. Rosario, no. You're a doctor. You should be tuned into this. Come on. I can't start repeating. If I repeat questions for you, I've got to go right over and repeat for everyone else who's missed the first 1 or 2 questions. So tune in. Come on. Question number 7. What was the northern frontier of the Roman Empire? What was the northern frontier of the Roman Empire? Question number 8. Keep those comments nice, good-natured, please, particularly Dr. Rosario and Mr. Brown. Yeah, quite right, Rev. Quite right. They need a bit of praying for this weekend, I tell you. Number 8. Before being called New York, what was the city known as? Before being called New York, what was the city known as? So here saying question 7 has 2 answers. Well, I'm only going to take 1. So if you think your other one's right, go for it. Question number 9. Walter H. Thompson was whose bodyguard during World War II? Walter H. Thompson was whose bodyguard during World War II? Is there a music round? Unfortunately not. I'd love to do a music round, but I think we've got issues to do with copyright and YouTube would shut us down if we started playing music, so we can't do a music round. And question number 10. Name either one of the 2 wives beheaded by Henry VIII. Name either one. So there's not 2 points for this. You only get 1 point. You can put both answers down if you want, but you're only going to get 1 point for it. Name either one of the 2 wives beheaded by Henry VIII. I can see. Just imagine people going, divorce, beheaded, survived. Also, so which one was that one? Yeah, which is basically what we did when we wrote the question. And question number 11. So, obviously, we all hope that Boris Johnson gets well really soon and gets on with the job. But not including our current Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, name the last 10 Prime Ministers. So not including Boris Johnson, name the last 10 Prime Ministers. There's no bonus marks for getting them in chronological order. You just got to have the 10 last Prime Ministers. So whilst you're frantically discussing who they are, what are you doing for the weekend? Tell your barman all about it. What are you up to this weekend? Are you hoping for some Easter eggs? Have you got an Easter egg hunt planned? Have you got a nice dinner planned for Sunday afternoon? What are you doing to pass the time? Maybe you can give someone else a good idea as to what to do as well. So if you've got any interesting ideas of how you're going to spend this weekend, do let us know. I'll read out some of the comments. But what are you up to? And yeah, maybe there's something that other people can do as well. The park run, the virtual park run. I think Tam, you're going to be doing that one tomorrow.
I shall have my trainers on bright and early tomorrow morning.
And the dog, if only you could see her, the dog is so excited about doing the virtual park run. Wilson, not so much. You have to take a lot of steps to complete a park run. What else have we got? Lots of comments about singing and music. This isn't helpful. I'm not singing, and we're not playing music. What are you doing for the weekend? Eating lots of chocolates, obviously. Not obviously because that almost came across as rude. Not obviously because it's you, Mrs. Bernand, but obviously because it's Easter. There's going to be lots of chocolate eggs and cream eggs and all the rest of it. So yeah. Barbecuing a massive piece of beef. Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I suppose the weather's going to be so nice this weekend. You've got to get out and make the most of it. Have a nice barbecue. Lots of ergos going on in the Humphreys house. Am I doing the park run? I will be out on my bike tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be doing something. It's all logged on Strava, Mr. Brown. I hope you're on Strava as well. We'll be able to see what you're up to. But yeah, by all means, go and have a look at what I've been. It's a new me, Mr. Brown. Have you not noticed that? Just the weight's falling off. Can't keep off my bike at the moment. There's nothing else to do. Staying close to the house, though, obviously. I know you're doing it once a day. So the pickets are having an Easter egg hunt. Lots of dog walks. Lots of dog walks from the Yateses. Drinking and eating from the Houghtons. So basically, this weekend's just revolving around a brief park run, maybe in tomorrow morning, followed by lots of eating and enjoying the sunshine. So yeah, what a great way to spend the weekend. Oh, and Albert will be spray painting his bike frame. That's why, that's just doing something which is a little bit different and trying something that you might not have done before. Absolutely brilliant. Hurling in the back garden. Hurling in the back garden. Do you think that means the sport?
I hope so. I hope it doesn't mean maybe something bad.
Eaten so much you're hurling in the back garden. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to round 4, the fourth and final round. So this one, Dr. Drosario, is all yours. You can let me know what your score is for this one particular round when we've finished. Okay. So let's see how we go. This is all about film and TV. Question number 1. From which film will you hear the quote, "Carpe diem, seize the day, boys, make your lives extraordinary"? From which film will you hear the quote, "Carpe diem, seize the day, boys, make your lives extraordinary"? Come on, Dr. Drosario, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Question number 2. David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly teamed up in which visionary classic from Jim Henson? Now, I'm not expecting the younger members of the audience to necessarily get that, but I think it's available on Netflix, maybe. Watch it. It's really weird, but yeah, it's good. David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly teamed up in which visionary classic from Jim Henson? Question 3. In Dad's Army, Captain Mannering's platoon are protecting which town? In Dad's Army, Captain Mannering's platoon are protecting which town? We've scared Dr. Tresario off. You asked for it, you know. Question number 4. Which film starts, whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think about the arrival gate at Heathrow Airport? Which film starts, whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think about the arrival gate at Heathrow Airport? Question number 5. Leonardo DiCaprio has only won one Oscar. Which film was it for? Leonardo DiCaprio has only won one Oscar. Which film was it for? Have we given them the Just Giving link lately?
I will again in a minute.
Good, good. I think we need to get busy on that after the quiz as well, guys. Don't forget the Reading Drop-In Centre. Question number 6. What is the name of the specialist police unit that goes in search of bent coppers? What is the name of the specialist police unit that goes in search of bent coppers? Pupil who shall remain nameless seriously thought your sitting room always looked like that, Mr. and Mrs. It's a pub. This is the Viking Arms. And who has a sitting room this wide? Question number 7. Who played the aged banker Mr. Dawes Sr. in the original Mary Poppins? Who played the aged banker Mr. Dawes Sr. in the original Mary Poppins? Jess, let's keep the conversation about the quiz. Let's not start having your own little chit chat in the comments box about how to adjust the camber on an axle.
Perhaps next week we'll rebrand as Quick Fit.
We could have a car maintenance round next week. Handy. If that helps. We'll get that Austin nippy fixed. Number 8. Who directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Who directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Question number 9. Again, well, see how you get on with this. Henry Cavill plays which character in The Witcher? So this is a new series that's been on Netflix. If you've got Netflix, and you probably have because you've probably been watching a lot of TV over the last few weeks, this is a big new series on Netflix. Henry Cavill plays which character in The Witcher? Question 10. Which film ends with the line, "Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads? Which film ends with the line, roads, where we're going, we don't need roads? And the last question of the quiz. So, question 11 in round 4. What I want you to do is name the 10 characters in Harry Potter who feature on screen in the films for the longest amount of time. So if you take all the Harry Potter films together, and which 10 characters feature most in those Harry Potter films by the amount of time that they spend on screen. No bonus points for trying to get who's the longest down to the who's the least. 10 characters from Harry Potter who you think are the 10 spend the most time in the Harry Potter movies. So shout outs for the mayors from my hometown, Wickham. This is from Mr. Olhausen. Looking forward to welcoming Harry to Shiplake in September. We've got loads of new families joining us tonight who are coming in September. It's really good to have you on board. Welcome to the Shiplake family. This is, I don't know if this is, if it's genuine enough to say, oh, we do this all the time, but certainly for the last 2 weeks, we really have. Okay, whilst you're still thinking about the Harry Potter answers, so last night we all clapped our key workers and the NHS, who are our national heroes at the moment. We were certainly standing out the front, clapping away with all the guys in the rest of our street as well. So my question for you to tell us in the comments box, and I'll certainly give them a shout out if you think they deserve it. But who are your heroes at the moment? Who is helping you get through this lockdown? Let's give them a special mention tonight. For me, my special hero at the moment is Mrs. Crisford. So Mr. Crisford's wife. Mr. Crisford is the head of lower school, but his wife is a nurse at the Royal Berks Hospital, and she's quite a senior nurse actually in the intensive care unit there. And we've been hearing some stories about all the stuff that they're dealing with in intensive care, and she absolutely needs a big shout out. She's working something like 20-hour shifts with more people in intensive care than they were designed for. So how she does that, God only knows. And so she is an absolute hero of ours right now. So who are your heroes? Charles Reese says that your mum is your hero, like so many others. And then your mum wrote that. That's not getting in the spirit of things, is it, mum? Mrs. Rose, also in the Royal Berks, working in A&E. So Mr. Rose's wife. The DT department for making all the masks, which have gone off to intensive care as well, and actually to Mrs. Crisford. All the rubbish collectors doing a tremendous job and really helping. Where would we be if we had stacks of rubbish all over the place? So it's good that they're there. Josh Zacharias, big shout out to your mother, who is working hard for the NHS to get new hospitals up and running in the southeast. Katie Appleyard, specialist nurse at the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford. The Thomas Franks caterers for, again, supplying food to the Royal Berks. The NHS at Wexham, RBH and London Clinic, they have our niece now, so good luck with I hope your niece is okay. Your postie, Ben Scotchbrook, Saint Tony. He had the virus and was very ill for 2 weeks. He's back and says he's feeling better than ever. All the Ocado deliverers, of course it would be the Ocado deliverers, not the Tesco ones for Shiplake. So well done to all the Ocado deliverers, the postmen, the supermarket workers. I have to obviously say that, as well as Mrs. Crisford, Mrs. Settle was a big hero of mine at the moment, because she braved Tesco in Henley yesterday and was queuing for ages to get around the shop and do the weekly food shop. So yeah, we've got lots of heroes in our lives at the moment. I think it's just worth recognizing that. Right, I am going to give you the answers shortly, but before I do, I just wanted to say thanks for coming again. Hope you had a really. Hope you felt at home in the Viking Arms, and as always, let us know if you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't, then don't. Just let us, try and make us feel good about doing this as well. So here are the answers. I'll go fairly quick through the answers, and we'll get some total scores at the end. Okay, so eyes down, look in. Here we go. Round one. The name of the land where Gulliver met the little people was Lilliput. There still demands for the kitten. We might work on the kitten in a little bit. Okay, we'll see what we can do. But Storm is definitely staying put. Question two. Soyuz was the name of a Russian spacecraft. What did it mean? It meant Union. What is the largest land carnivore native to Britain? It is a badger.
I'm literally terrified now of going walking in the woods. I feel I'm going to be savaged by a massive badger.
Who is the current Speaker of the House of Commons? It is Sir Lindsay Hoyle. The Spanish riding school is in which country? It's in Austria. Who is older, Sir Keir Starmer or Boris Johnson? It is Sir Keir Starmer. He's 57, whereas Boris is 55. Fourth in line to the British throne is Princess Charlotte of Cambridge. Charlotte will do, that's fine. In Trivial Pursuit, which is colour pink? That is entertainment. And which TV character was in West Philadelphia, born and raised? It was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I believe on the playground he spent most of his days.
Certainly did. We're definitely of a generation, aren't we? When was that? It was like the 1980s, 90s?
No, it must have been more recent than
that. Where did Captain Cook's first set foot in Australia? Botany Bay. So the London Underground lines, I needed any 10 of these. I think there's 11 of them, but 10 for the 10 points you can have. The Bakerloo line, the Central line, the Circle line, the District line, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City. I'll read those one more time. So Bakerloo, Central, Circle, District, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee, Metropolitan, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City. Okay, round two. Who wrote Gangster Granny? That was David Walliams. What is the name of Dennis the Menace's dog? That is Nasha. Silent G, doesn't matter how you spell it, you know what you mean. In which book did a spider called Charlotte and a pig called Wilbur become friends? That's Charlotte's Web. The author Michael Bond created which famous bear? It was Paddington Bear. Reading resident Justin Fletcher is better known as who? He is Mr. Tumble. Number 6, what is the name of George Pig's dinosaur? Well, it's obviously Mr. Dinosaur. What else would you call a dinosaur? Mr. Dinosaur. Question 7, which Disney film does the song Circle of Life come from? It is The Lion King. Whose address is 10 Acre Field, Scatterbrook Farm, Wurzel Gummidge? What is the name of what is the name of the character in Toy Story described as a rough and tumble cowgirl doll with a passion for yodeling? That is Jessie. And how many players are in a game of Fortnite Battle Royale? 100. So the 10 Disney films that have won an Oscar. So you had to name 10. So if you wanted to guess, just think of the 10 Disney films that got the best music. So I think these are in order of age. So you've got Pinocchio, Song of the South, Mary Poppins, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, Tarzan, Monsters Inc., Toy Story 3, The Muppets, Frozen, and Coco. So I hope all the kids out there had a good chance at that round, and hopefully you showed your parents just how much knowledge you really have. Round 3, history. Which public school did Winston Churchill go to? It was Harrow. The Lady of the Lamp was Florence Nightingale. The vegetable that Sir Walter Raleigh brought to England was a potato. Whose ship was first to sail around the world? It was Ferdinand Magellan. Rudolf Hess was the last prisoner in which jail? It's Spandau. In which city was the 1916 Easter Rising? Dublin. What was the northern frontier of the Roman Empire? Hadrian's Wall. Before being called New York, New York was New Amsterdam. Walter H. Thompson was whose bodyguard? He was Winston Churchill's. And name either one of the 2 wives beheaded for Henry VIII. So only 1 mark available, doesn't matter if you put both. Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. And the last 10 prime ministers, not including Boris Johnson, I'm going to give them to you in order. So you've got Theresa May, David Cameron, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair, John Major, Margaret Thatcher, James Callaghan, Harold Wilson, Edward Heath, and Alec Douglas Home. Okay, and in round 4, last one. In which film was the quote "Carpe Diem" seize the day? That is obviously the Dead Poets Society. So all the teachers watching, you absolutely should have got that one right. David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly were in Labyrinth. In question number 3, in Dad's Army, they are protecting Warmington-on-Sea. In question 4, which film starts, whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think about the arrival gate at Heathrow Airport? That is Love Actually. Nick Clegg wasn't Prime Minister, he was Deputy. Question 5, Leo DiCaprio has only won 1 Oscar, that was for The Revenant. What is the name of the specialist police unit that goes in search of bent coppers? That is AC-12. Mr. Dawes Sr. was played by Dick Van Dyke. The director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy was Peter Jackson. Henry Cavill plays which character in The Witcher? He's called Geralt. And which film ends with the line "Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads"? That is Back to the Future. And finally, the 10 characters in Harry Potter who feature on the screen for the longest amount of time across all the films. It goes in this order. So Harry Potter, obviously, he's the longest. After, you don't need them in order, but you just need these 10 names. But it goes Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, Albus Dumbledore, Hagrid, Snape, Voldemort, Draco Malfoy, Ginny Weasley, and Minerva McGonagall. So we've got a shout out from the Beasleys. They're really keen on beating Team Curtis. So we definitely need some scores now so we can see how you've done. And I think we might just get rid of the dog. There we go. Dog's going to exit. We might get a cat in a minute. So let's see. Count up your scores. Let's see how you've all done, and I'll read some out as well. Let's see if the numbers look better than they did last week. I really hope they do. I didn't think last week's was that hard, but you guys did. So let's hope that we've done a bit better. So we've got LeBeau's first in with 55. Dr. Rosario, well done. You got 15 out of 20 for the film round. That's good. Let's have your total score as well. The Humphreys, a shocking 46. The Ashes come in with 52. The Gardeners at 56. Passmore's leading the way with 67. We've got the Houghtons on 62. The Howarths on 62. The Hunts on 54. The Browns on 53. Scotchbrook's 65. It looks like the Passmores are leading on 67. Mallins is 57. The Rev on 66. The Burks on 52. McPhee's, why didn't you tell me that you're here? One of the best families that we've had at Shiplake for years. Unfortunately, you left quite a while ago, but welcome. Hope you've had a good time. I can't keep up with these. There's so many of you playing. We've still got 104 what tuned in.
71.
Who you're 71?
The Manly Wars. Oh, Shiplake Stars. Well done.
Shiplake Stars, Manly Wars team. You came in with 71. Blimey. Lots of scores in the 60s. Okay, that's looking really, really good. Okay. The Lockwoods at 60, Cultus at 51, Fishers at 57, the Youngs on 69, the Walters on 49. So loads in the 60s. So basically, if you've got 60s, you've done really well. 50s, you might need to kind of go back to school. 40s, God, well,
do some revision.
Mr. Walter, PE teacher, 49. Okay. So, yeah, so good range of scores. Keep those coming in. And again, do let us know what your thoughts, and hopefully we'll be with you next Friday. So it's now time for me to start calling on last orders. First one, because hold on, here he is. Okay. This is Wilson. You want to say hello, Wilson? There he is. Hi. There you go. So he's very tiny. We've just woken him up. There he is. Okay, everyone happy now? Everyone happy with that? There we go. Good boy. There you go. All right, so you've seen the kitten. The dog is chomping at the bit to get hold of him, but anyway, so thank you for sending your scores in. So, yeah, whilst I'm calling last orders at the bar, all that's left for me to say is really please stay safe, keep being nice to each other, try something new this week, even if it's the Strava virtual run tomorrow. If it's something that you haven't done before, do have a go. Oh, and his dog as well. And if this quiz has made you happy or brightened your week somehow, then I really would like to dedicate this quiz to my nan, who unfortunately we lost yesterday after a long fight with dementia and ultimately this horrible disease, COVID-19. So please look after yourselves, and until next time, I'm sure you've all got homes to go to. Everybody out, off you go.